Welcome back to James Pigeon. So as you saw, my last video was part one in my series of very briefly profiling all the sitting governors in the U.S. as of April 2026. I'm doing it in groups of 6 states in rough regional boundaries, and you get to look at the drawings I have made of them. So, anyway, today is time for part two, which is the 6 governors of the Mid-Atlantic region of the United States. All right, so starting this episode is going to be a bit less tightly scripted than the first one, just because I realized it's not really my style to write up a super exact script, and I figure you guys would probably like it more if I did my more freewheeling method. Anyway, so starting with New York, my home state, and my current governor is Kathy Hochul. She has been serving since 2021, and she is 67 years old. She is our former lieutenant governor under the very long time governor, recent failed mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo. And when he resigned in 2021 due to sexual harassment allegations, she was made governor, and then she won the 2022 election in her own right against Lee Zeldin, who is now director of the EPA, I think. And she is running for re-election against Bruce Blakeman this year. She is basically just a pretty moderate liberal, not as left-wing as the New England ones. She's really not a big progressive, but, she's just a very bland, moderate Democrat, which is what people in this state apparently want, because she is pretty broadly popular, although she was considered to be in kind of have dodged a bullet because her approval rating was low, and it was considered she was liable for a primary challenge from someone who is more progressive, like her lieutenant governor, Antonio Delgado. But he dropped out, and she got endorsed by Mayor Mamdani and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, the two New York progressives that are most influential. So she's pretty set, and I think she's going to win the election by a good amount. Anyway, sorry for yapping a lot about her. It's just she's my home governor. I have a portrait of her, so I know the most about her. All right, moving on. The current governor of Pennsylvania is Josh Shapiro. He first took office in 2023. He is a Democrat. He is 52 years old. He is Jewish. As many people know, he was in the running to be Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick, her running mate, but he lost that out to Tim Walz. Pennsylvania is a very divided state. It's considered a big battleground swing state, so he is not thought to have, the tightest grip on power like some of these other people I talked about in the New England episode that win their elections by giant 30% margins. He is the former attorney general, and he is basically just, again, the same kind of Democrat as Hochul, just generally just very moderate, decently anti-Trump. He's, again, pretty much just just your standard bland, middle of the road, somewhat conservative Democrat. All right, next up we got the newly elected governor of New Jersey, who is Mikey Sherrill, or Rebecca Michelle Sherrill, but she goes by Mikey Sherrill. She is only 54 years old, which is very young for this high level of politics. And she took office this year in 2026, after in the most recent election. She is a Democrat, and she is the second female governor of New Jersey. Obviously, she has only been governor since January, so there's not a lot of stuff about her, but she's basically just like a liberal. She made an executive order that ICE agents can't operate on state-owned property, and then she was sued by the DOJ. So yeah, but she is basically just a liberal, but maybe a bit more left-wing than the others. All right, next up is the only Republican in the Mid-Atlantic. Well, this 6-state definition of the Mid-Atlantic, which is Patrick Morrisey. He is 58 years old, and he has been the governor of West Virginia since 2025. He is previously the Attorney General, and he narrowly lost the Senate to the Democrat Joe Manchin, or he's an independent now, but he was a Democrat at the time. West Virginia used to be a heavily Democrat state, and he was the first Republican Attorney General since 1933 when he became it in 2012. He is basically just a very hardline conservative, pretty much. He supports a 20-week abortion ban, and he wanted to make a constitutional amendment in West Virginia, New Jersey, when he used to live in New Jersey, that would ban abortion. He said that you have to eliminate the woke mind virus, and he's basically that kind of guy. And he got an A+ rating from the NRA, and he's against transgender stuff and, that kind of thing, basically. Yeah, so he's basically just a pretty hardline, standard conservative. And he's maybe known as he crashed out at the NCAA for not putting West Virginia on the March Madness. And he said he was gonna sue them, and he also said that he is going to try to make West Virginia a leader in AI. So good luck on that. All right, next up, the governor of Maryland is Wes Moore, full name Wesley Watande Mari Moore. He is a spry 47 years old, born in Maryland, and he has been their governor since 2023. He has a good education. He's very prestigious. He went to Johns Hopkins and Oxford, and his main career was that he served as a captain in the Army from 1998 to 2014. And then he also worked as an author, and he published 5 books in the first half of the 2010s, and then he served as a CEO. He's a Democrat, and he is the first black governor of Maryland and the third black governor in all of U.S. history. In terms of his ideology, he basically just said that he's a social moderate and a fiscal conservative, although he has been described as a progressive by other people. And he's basically just a chill guy. And he is also the vice chair of the National Governors Association, so a bit of governor trivia for you. Anyway, and finally, we have the governor of Delaware, Mr. Matt Meyer. He has been the governor of Delaware, which, no offense, is, in my opinion, the most irrelevant state. But Joe Biden's from there, and he became president, so anything is possible. He is a Democrat, and he is a former economist, basically, and he was the executive of Newcastle County, Delaware. Delaware only has 3 counties, so that's like one of the top 3 highest guys in Delaware. So it's better than in a different if you were a county executive in a different state. In terms of his political views, he has called himself pretty progressive. He's pro $15 minimum wage. He's pro marijuana. And he's pro Black Lives Matter. And yeah, he's Jewish, and he's basically just again, a lot of these mid-Atlantic guys, besides Mr. Morrissey of West Virginia, are basically just pretty standard moderate Democrats. So anyway, this one was longer and a bit more rambling, but I tell me if you guys prefer that highly scripted style or this more rambling style. Anyway, I'll see you next time, where I will talk about the governors of the Southeast.